Welcome to the Property Talk. On set with me is a face you're familiar with. You've interacted with them in different spaces, probably worked on your space too, your office, your home, your hotel, your Airbnb, name it. And we'll be talking interior designing and interior spaces. It's a pleasure having you on set, Sophie.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah.
I enjoy this space.
I'd like to ask my first question, and
Sure.
I don't think this is going to be a brainer to you because I'm sure you think about it, you meditate upon it, and you're like, one day I'll get there. If you were given a space to design any space in the world, no budgets, no limits, they told you go crazy, do anything you want, which space would it be and why?
A large penthouse in New York. Why
Okay.
New York? In New York it's fast paced, it's very busy. So that would be very interesting to see if there's no budget, nothing, no limits, absolutely nothing. A penthouse where we can open up the space, introduce natural elements in it, like introduce green spaces in it. I think New York, penthouse, no budget, big contemporary design, big windows. I think for me that would be fantastic for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, designing that to find a way to make it very homely at the same time while still capitalizing on the natural elements. I think that would be for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What interior design trend people are still using this, but then somehow still coming back? It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to go out of time.
Yeah.
What is that?
Nothing like grey wood, but I see that people insist on continuously buying that grey tile.
Yeah, the grey tile
the
and
grey tile that looks
grey,
like wood.
I think there's also that one that is a PVC. It's like a kind of
like a peel off.
Yeah.
So like a peel off that you still take an old tile and then you decide to choose a grey wood like finish. I can't stand it. So for me, honestly, I think grey floors, and the other one would be people are still putting, like defining baby rooms with colors. My goodness.
I was a culprit.
Explain to people that you do not necessarily have to put, hot pink in a room. It's a girl's room is going to be hot pink. It's a boy's room is going to be some royal blue or some blue. Now both those two colors have more dusty, warm tones to them that you can choose. But I am done looking at baby pink or hot pink in baby rooms. There's so many other aspects in the room that you can still play with to still define the sex of that child.
Yes.
You can do that with the linen. You can do that with the furniture. Without
True.
necessarily having to do. And what's wrong with doing neutrals? For me, it's gray wood-like floors. I can stand those, and colors that are supposed to define, sex. Yeah, the sex of the child. Yeah.
Okay. The other question is, what is the wildest request you've ever gotten from a client?
Hi, clients. Okay, so we got this client one time who asked us to install a fully functioning waterfall. Well, he called it a fountain, but it is a fountain, but get rocks, get what, and then try to do a waterfall in his living room. So ideally, where you would have a TV, he wanted a waterfall. Yes. The idea is fantastic, especially if the room from construction, you put that in mind. And that's why we tell people that you don't need your interior designer
when you're done.
You need your interior designer at concept.
Yes.
And so, we did consult with structural engineers and then realized that it would obviously compromise the integrity of the structure. So plumbing works, all that, it hadn't been factored in. It was an afterthought, and it was going to be a very expensive.
When we are doing house shopping, you're buying things, you're spicing up your property, you're saying, what can I get that can change my property better without, spending so much? You throw in pillows, or do they actually define and change the space?
You're asking about specifically
the carpet and the rug and the throwing pillows.
I think the rug is very important because when a room doesn't have a rug, it almost feels incomplete. Why? Because the rugs help us with a couple of things. They define our sitting area. They also make the space very cozy. In some spaces, some houses, some Arabic, houses, you'll find that they don't even have furniture. They prefer the rug because of what it does to the mood, the emotion that it inspires in a room. Comfiness, coziness. We can be relaxed, and also we use them to zone off spaces. This is your living room. This is the dining area. This is our hallway. So I feel like they're very, very important, not because for aesthetics, but also they make the space come off very comfy, like very comfy. They give that cozy feel to a space. Very, very important, because a house without a carpet, I feel like it's very incomplete. It is very incomplete. And we saw that trend in 2020, I think 2023, where people were layering. They were layering rugs. So they would have a wall to wall and then still layer it on top with a center rug. With a center rug. Now, whereas that in hot countries can be a lot. Carpets eventually do smell if they're not properly maintained.
If they're not properly maintained,
Yes.
they create a stuffiness. On Sophie, I want to know, what is the one thing that any of us can do instantly to change our space?
When you're designing a home, you want to think about the kind of emotion you're trying to inspire in that space. Normally, we say how the house greets you on the outside, but also how the house greets you on the inside. So if your entryway is cluttered, Feng Shui is really about harmonizing a space. So you want to declutter. You want to declutter your entryway so you can be able to, you don't disrupt the energy, the flow of the energy from the entry to wherever you're going. So one of the tips that I would give as far as Feng Shui is concerned is declutter. Declutter your entryway. Actually, declutter your entire path.
Nice of again to the tips of Feng Shui. What does Feng Shui mean?
We should ask you.
I'm here telling for Feng Shui. What does actually Feng Shui mean? That's if I'm actually pronouncing it right.
So Feng Shui is, first of all, it comes from China. It's a Chinese art of arranging objects and elements in a space to achieve harmony and balance. So elements, water, wood, metal, and so whatever it is that you're using, whatever element that you're using in your space, how can you use it better to achieve that, to have a harmonious feel in the space, at the same time also offer it some sort of balance. I don't know if I've defined it in the most layman.
Me, I can understand some. If I could understand, I'm sure you out there can understand. What is the one tip you can give someone out there watching to create an illusion of bigger space, make their spaces look bigger, other than telling them, put a mirror? So I love mirrors. So no offense to mirrors, but then it gets also irritating when every small space people are being told, put a mirror. It will give the illusion of space. So what is that one other tip?
First of all, mirrors, and like in your space. One of the reasons I hope you've been to her gorgeous home.
Thank you.
The thing about mirrors is they don't just, enlarge a space. They also invite in light.
Yes.
So they give illusions of light, where we have maybe rooms that are too closed off.
Sophie, what is that one interior trend you're so obsessed with? You say, if this one client gives me the ability to explore their property, it's the first thing I'm doing, hands down. What is it?
Biophilia.
What is that?
Biophilia.
What is that?
You have a space like this, and then we have a tree in here, and we have a skyline. We've opened up natural light. We have also brought in the green indoors. So I would like to see that happen.
Sophia, because by the time you have a tree growing in your house, and then an open sky roof, in this Kampala, indeed.
You said that trend.
Indeed.
I have not had an idea. I have not had a chance to incorporate. So biophilia, by nature, you're introducing
nature.
Nature into this.
Yes. Are we also so strong on that with the property show, with the Homes Expo? If you look at it, for the last 3 years, we've been pushing the sustainability agenda, because, guys, climate change is a serious thing. In conclusion, where are we headed 2025 when it comes to the real estate industry and interior design?
I see that we're still leaning more towards sustainability. And I love that it's a movement that now many organizations, the Olim Group, is pushing for that. Then 2025, we're seeing people introduce the tassels are back. We saw them towards the end of the 2024, especially with the rugs. So now we're going to see a lot of those, and the frills at the end of the linen.
For you out there who's watching, there's so much you've learned. There's so much you're taking home tonight with you. And there's so much you're going to change, I am
Yeah.
sure.